Okay, today we are playing a game on Blizzard World. We are playing Zarya the entire way through, and there is no SR for today's game because it was a scrim game. And our current team composition is Reinhardt, Zarya, Reaper, Tracer, Moira, and Ana. So I dislike the team comp mostly because of our two DPS, because Reaper, Tracer, so we've basically got close to 0 damage at range, because we've got two extremely short-range DPS. This is not an issue if you have a team that can get on the enemy team quickly, so a dive comp, basically. And we don't have a team that's going to get on them fast. We got Rein, Zarya, Moira, Ana. So we got a pretty, slow, static comp, and then the two short-range DPS. Now, we are defending first, so the enemy team have to come to us. They don't have much choice about the matter, but I dislike how close range the team is, basically. No range damage outside of, Ana, Moira a bit, and Zarya, I guess. It's not very exciting. Anyway, let's just start the game. So we're defending first, and we're in, the usual place, waiting for them to show up. They'll probably come through the left-hand side. Nope, they're gonna come straight down the gate. I don't like coming straight down the gate, ever on Blizzard World. This initial, run-up right here. If the enemy team if they've got long range, basically, God, you gotta walk so fucking far to get to them. I hate doing that. Not as bad if you got a dive comp, but then you can still just come out the fucking doorway on the left and then just pop out on them, right? So they got a Sombra on their team, which is inconvenient, certainly. Not the end of the world for us personally is Zarya. Zarya, pretty long cooldown, so very good chance if you get hacked, you've already used your abilities, and it's not much of an issue. If you want to use Grav, it can be a problem, but Zarya not as fucked up by Sombra as most tanks are. Because if you're playing, Hammond Reinhardt, ooh, you just get to not play the game. Diva, you're just not heroes anymore at that point, So their first push didn't go very well. We saw only half of them as well, so that's how you know it didn't go particularly well. So they now have a Reinhardt instead. They've apparently decided to go for a pretty big shift after that one. They've now gone Rein, Zarya. Ana's in. Not Ana, Sombra's in. Ana's also in, but she's on our team. And she hacked Tracer. Tracer, a very sad hero to get hacked, but they weren't in position to do anything about it at the time. Where do we use our bubbles? In here? That's fair enough. Unfortunately, Rein, neither of us took a whole lot of damage, so unfortunate. And then when we don't actually have it to use it when the fight starts going a little bit more unfortunate. So it's fair enough to assume he's gonna take some damage from that position, but he ends up not actually taking any damage. Here's just a blanket thing if you're playing Zarya. You'll always get some charge if you wait for the person to start taking damage. We're pretty fucked now. This fight's going pretty badly. We're pretty fucked. You'll always get at least some charge if you wait for the person to start taking damage before you bubble them. And this is less this case for your own bubble, but also true. And the reason it's less the case for your own bubble is you can always bubble yourself and then walk across someone's line of fire. Your teammates you cannot necessarily rely on. So if you wait until they start taking damage, you'll always get some charge, because it's harder to stop yourself firing once you've already started. But just baseline, they'll never react frame 1 and do no damage and just stop firing, right? So you'll always get some charge if you wait for them to start taking damage, rather than anticipating they're going to take damage. Exceptions being if they got a Genji with Dragon Blade flipping in front of your Mercy, he's gonna cut the Mercy, that's a pretty safe bet. You can bubble the Mercy ahead. You don't need to wait for her to get cut, But just a general thing. So we got Emped and Earth Shattered, and there's really not a lot you do about that one. And that's why Sombra is really annoying to play against. Once you get Emped, it's already over. There's nothing you can do about it at that point. So the trick is just to be more observant for where Sombra is, pretty much. But when you're an infinite stealth hero, that's very difficult to do. sometimes you get fucked, and there isn't a lot you can do to change it, really. That's why Sombra's very aggravating to play against if the Sombra's good. That being the caveat in there. So Reaper's gone in and started spinning. We use Grav and caught most of the enemy team that are still alive. Everybody except their flankers, pretty much. And hey, it's good enough. That's good enough. Reaper's spin was less than exciting, but it did manage to draw a lot of aggro from us while we got into position to use the Graviton, so that's nice. And hey, we've managed to stall it out right here. This is a really bad place to lose momentum on, because suddenly you have to push kind of a far distance without the payload anymore, which is very annoying, unless you want to go, like, over the top, but then you're coming in at some pretty weird angles, which might not help your team either. It's always unfortunate when you're on a payload map or a hybrid map, and you get really far down the track on the checkpoint, but don't capture the checkpoint. Well, now we gotta do that whole run without the payload, and then suddenly that becomes dramatically harder to do, because the maps are pretty balanced with the assumption you're going through with the payload. So Reinhardt is the most optimistic man alive. Where he's like, hey, maybe he'll just take the shield down, and then Zarya bubbles as well. I think he did actually manage to get somebody back there, just because Reinhardt wasn't quite on the ground at the time. Nope, actually, nope, they're all still moving around. So Genji's using Dragon Blade behind us, though, and he's just killed both our healers, so we're fucked. We're fucked. I mean, it's possible that we might have saved them if we turned and bubbled one of them quickly enough after the Dragon Blade began happening, but realistically, nah, we got fucked. And he got nano boosted as well, so they nano bladed the backline. There's nothing our team comp can do about that, because we didn't have a defensive ultimate. We still don't, but one of our teammates has changed to Batista now, so that he's at least got the Immortality Field. Immortality Field, not the best defense against Nanoblade, because Genji will break the lamp very quickly whilst doing that. So now we've been, we got Emped and Earth Shattered again, and sometimes you get fucked, you know? There's just not a lot we do about that one either. Life is very difficult sometimes this way, where you can be put in situations where you just really don't have any recourse other than to get fucked. And that sucks, but it unfortunately is the case sometimes. So they had to push it through the whole track though, so we get to come back out and start fighting again. How do we just use our bubbles? I wasn't paying attention closely enough. We held him for a really long time. Alright, Ryan's gonna take some damage in there. We bubbled ourselves and then started backing up rather than going in, which is, counterintuitive, at least, because once you've bubbled up, you want to, like, go in, not out, so you can actually get the charge and then capitalize on the charge you got. So Reaper managed to get into the enemy team and spin. He didn't kill everybody, but he killed enough people that their push is done. So, hey, now they gotta push through all this again without the payload. Hey, so that's pretty nice. Now we've got a real defensive ultimate. We've got Sound Barrier. Also doesn't necessarily save you from Nanoblade, because the Sound Barrier degrades very quickly. But even if he gets Nanobladed, like, even Trance doesn't necessarily save you, because he can do enough damage to kill you. And Batista's changing to Moira now. I don't really like that choice. Like, Look, to be honest with you, there's just kind of not a lot of reason to pick Moira, right? And I love Moira, personally, right? Moira's my favorite support. But there's kind of not a lot of reason to pick Moira, to be honest with you. I'd rather they were playing, like, Ana instead, if they were going to change off Batista. Or they could just go, like, Ana, Batista, and then, like, you've got the lamp to try and save you at least. Because, like, Lucio, Moira, it's just, like... it doesn't contribute much to damage. It doesn't have a lot, if it has very little utility, because Moira personally has no utility attached to her at all. So, like, it's very low damage, very low utility, and, like, it's good healing, because Moira does a lot of healing, but, like, there's just kind of no reason to pick Moira over any of the other supports, to be honest with you. Other than, you need a lot of healing. Like, a lot of extra healing. But, like, you know. So, anyway, fight's going pretty badly suddenly. Ryan got earth-shattered. He's hacked right now, so it's not entirely... No, it ran out before... It actually ran out right before he got hacked, so, or earth-shattered, so he could have blocked it. What's Genji up to? Oh, Genji killed McCree with Deadeye. I just saw that Genji killed someone, and I was like, no, he killed McCree with Deadeye, so, turns out it was actually McCree's fault. McCree's the bad one. And now, look, it's not going well. So realistically, there's nothing we do about, like, anything that happened in this round of Zarya. We just got fucked. Like, you get Earth Shattered, what do you do about that as Zarya, right? You don't do anything about that. Your backline gets nano-bladed and you're playing Zarya. If you don't have Grav, there's nothing you can do about it. Because your only option as Zarya is bubble one of the people, hope they live. They probably don't if it's nano-blade, you hope. Or you grab the nano-boosted Genji. Which is, you know, doesn't feel good to do, but is frequently the correct choice, because otherwise you can end up just losing the fight then and there. But, like, those are your options for that one as Zarya. So, like, sometimes, you know, sometimes you get fucked. I just didn't like a lot of our team comp throughout that whole round, to be honest with you. What's our team comp now? Was it Reaper Sombra? Reaper Sombra, Moira Zen? Alright, fair enough. You know, it's still like, Ana is still just better than Moira. And I changed to Lucio instead. I mean, you know, fair enough. Lucio's a lot better when you're attacking, because you can get in position quickly, whereas if you're defending, it's more for repositioning quickly, which is helpful, but I mean, it's just, he's more of an attacking boy, you know? So we see that they have a Zarya, or not a Zarya, a Mei, very different hero, very inconvenient. So that's something we have to worry about as Zarya. This is a very bad bubble that we've ended up doing. I mean, we didn't get the person we wanted, obviously, because we must have wanted one of the people up at the front. But even if we got one of the people up in the front, nothing's happening to them right now, so that bubble would have ended up not getting any value, even if we got the person we were aiming for. It might have gotten us a little bit of charge, but I do mean, like, less than 10% charge. So, as I was saying before then, we do have to worry about them having a Mei as Zarya, because we have the ability to purge the freeze off of them, which is very unique to Zarya. She can purge status effects from other people. So we have to worry about them having a Mei. I would like to push tab right now to see if they kept the Mei. Did they keep the Mei? Because they might have went, oh, that went really badly, let's change off of Mei. Nope, they still have the Mei. Okay. Just, you know, anytime that the enemy team are regrouping, just push tab real quick, look at the enemy team, see if it changes at all while they're regrouping. Anytime, like, it goes badly for them, someone's likely to change, so that's a good time to push and, like, see. But, like, anytime they're regrouping, maybe just hold tab for a second, see if anyone changes when they respawn. Because that's also when they're most likely to. Just a general thing, not specifically useful here, but just a good thing in general to do. Bubbled Reinhardt right here. Yeah, no point to do so. Like, nothing's happening right now. It's purely, like, maybe I'll get some charge off of it, but, like, I'd rather wait for a more guaranteed time. Because, like... So nobody's actually pushing the payload right now, by the way. I just looked up right there. They haven't been pushing it. It hasn't been getting pushed for a while. Yeah, I've pushed back twice so far. Okay, 3 times. Still not being pushed. How far back will we go? Alright, so we went back 20 seconds and it was getting pushed. Look at all that time. It's not moving, and we're not fighting. Not necessarily our fault, because we do want to be up at the front line. We're playing one of the tanks, but I mean, that's a good chunk of chime right there that it just sat not moving, which is sad and worth pointing out. So this Rein has been nano boosted. We don't want to be near Reinhardt. We've bubbled ourselves, but Reinhardt was currently still countercharged right there. But like, even if we bubble ourselves, boy's gonna take it off us and start doing a lot of damage real quick. We don't want to be next to the nano boosted Reinhardt, really. Didn't end up mattering. Reinhardt managed to get his Earth Shatter in, and then hey, look at that, they're all pretty fucked. Now you just gotta kill the Zarya, just break her bubble, don't have to worry about it if you're gonna kill the person under the bubble, no big deal. We did do that. I'm not saying should have done that, that's what we did. I was saying if you're gonna kill the person that's under the bubble, break the bubble. Killing somebody is very important, more so than her gaining a little bit of charge, especially if she's the one that's gonna die. So, bubbled Lucio right here. No real reason to have done so. He's not still going in, like, he's not looking like he's going to take a lot of damage, because Rein would be a fool to take his shield down right there to start swinging also. So, bubble ended up not doing anything. We grab right here. We caught the tanks. Ooh, I didn't even hear him start doing that. We caught the tanks and Lucio used sound barrier, so tragically we're not going to kill the people in there. Are they the ones we caught? There's another person in there, but I can't tell who it is. Oh yeah, and then we got caught by that eye right there. He was really far back. Sombra just didn't emp in time to save people, but we still had Death Blossom, and they just got emped, so there's nothing that they can do other than get span on. So, they die, regardless. Hooray, we died, didn't matter, we even get to respawn right here. Fantastic news. I'm not super excited about the grab we did, just because we only caught the tanks with it, but that is frequently good enough also. And we got the sound barrier out. Well, it didn't matter we got the sound barrier out, because Sombra had emp, didn't she? Which just scrapes the barrier off them regardless. So, I'm not super excited about it, but like, it's fine enough. Rein continues to be the most optimistic man in the entire world, and you can see right there, I was going back to look at how optimistic he was, and you can already tell he fucked us a second time by not blocking the counter shatter. Like, oh, he's gonna take it down right now, or maybe he thought he was gonna slip it by on the right-hand side. Either way, he's too optimistic, and then he just doesn't block the follow-up counter shatter. Anytime you Earth Shatter, and you don't hit people, don't continue swinging, don't keep walking forward, because the Reinhardt's immediately gonna go, and I'm gonna shatter you right back. Quite frequently, when one Reinhardt misses, I see this happen all the time, where like, I'll miss Earth Shatter, he'll block it, and then he'll be like, alright, now I'm gonna Earth Shatter you, and then I block his right afterwards, so you'll just watch, bang, nothing, bang, nothing. That's always very exciting. But like, once you use Earth Shatter, if it gets blocked, or you just whiff, just be ready to block his, because he's about to retaliate and be like, oh, you want to Earth Shatter, Where do we use our bubble in here? I was talking about Reinhardt, whom we're obviously not playing right now, but so I was distracted. How did we use our bubbles? This is, of course, worth pointing out for Zarya. So that's fair enough. We see that boy running at us. Who did we use the other one on? The projected on? Reinhardt right there? Fair enough. We didn't get a lot of charge off of using it on him, but look, it was a fair enough time to use it all the same. Damn, he's built his Earth Shatter up again. Reinhardt better block this one. He almost fucking died. He almost fucking died right there. If he died right there, or just didn't block this shatter, I was gonna be so mad. He still might not block this shatter. There, Ryan missed his opportunity right there. That looks like it's going to work anyway, but he missed his opportunity, because look right there. He just got stunned by Bridget. So he missed his opportunity right there, but hey, that's gonna work. So he didn't block the Earth Shatter. Very upsetting. Life is hard. I don't think we have... I'm not going to go back this far to look at it, but I don't think we had our personal barrier up to use then either, because Zarya is honestly the second most consistent hero for blocking an Earth Shatter. You might be tempted to say it's Orisa. Orisa? No. It's not Orisa. I've played a lot of Reinhardt, and I've played against a lot of all the tanks. Reinhardt's the most consistent for blocking Earth Shatter. Zarya is by far the second most consistent. Because Orisa, you just wait for her to put her shield down, then walk through the shield. That's it. It's done at that point. And Winston's bubble is, you know... Honestly, Winston might be more consistent for blocking Earth Shatter than Orisa, to be honest with you. Orisa might actually be the worst one. Because it's just so free, as long as you're paying attention to what Orisa's doing. If you're not paying attention to what the Orisa's doing, then you just play it like it's Reinhardt, and you're just like, as soon as her barrier breaks, I'm gonna Earth Shatter. That doesn't work versus Orisa, because hers is cooldown, not recharge, right? So, it doesn't work that way. So if you're not paying attention, or you try to play versus Orisa like you're playing versus Reinhardt, then... yeah, you're gonna get fucked by Orisa, I guess. As long as you're paying attention, there's no reason Orisa ever blocks Earth Shatter. Zarya can just bubble herself and walk right up to you, and then that can be very sad. So we blocked the Deadeye on ourselves, but unfortunately Moira died and Lucio just killed himself, so we're pretty fucked. We shouldn't still be fighting, we should have just been backing up to try and get away at least rather than die. But we were pretty fucked. Lost both our healers right at the start of the fight. What can you do, right? You can't do much about that one. Moira died to Deadeye. Lucio fell off the map. So we've got Grav built up. So that's very exciting. They just got emped, so we might not need to use Grav on this one, and we decide to save it. Which is good to do. Good self-control. Because most people would have just been like, oh yeah, Grav, right, she used Emp, let's grab them all together. Emp is strong enough that you might not need another ultimate in there. You probably don't need another really strong one like Grav, so we decide to wait and see. We've still got Grav for this next fight, and we only need to win one more fight. So, there's a lot of people grouped up over there right now. They just lost somebody as well, so we group up most of their remaining teammates. Reinhardt, I don't think, blocked the Earth Shatter, but nobody was in position to get hit by it, so not the end of the world, I guess. If you're playing Reinhardt also, and the enemy team are in a Graviton, be ready to block Earth Shatter still, because the Reinhardt will be looking to try and counter Earth Shatter for the Graviton. To be honest with you, very rarely happens where you're in a position to use Earth Shatter to, like, have a good chance of stopping the enemy team from capitalizing on a Graviton, but it happens sometimes. Be ready for it all the same if you're playing Rime. So we don't have a lot of time left on the timeline, so, you know, could still go either way. I didn't watch this video through to the end, so I don't actually know if we win or lose. Hopefully we win. We've got the advantage right now. I still am not, like, super stoked to have Reaper, to be honest with you. Like, it's one of those things where, like, well, you can go, but Reaper's gotten so many good ultimates off this game. Yes, Genji could have done the same thing and been a more consistently useful hero than Reaper is, because Reaper's not exactly, like, countering anyone on the enemy team right now. So, like, hey, Reaper being here is cool because he's span on some people, but, like, I'd rather have other heroes still than Reaper. Especially in, like, a scrim setting, where you would assume the enemy team are somewhat coordinated. Reaper is dramatically less useful when the enemy team is actually coordinated / know what they're doing. Just because you're in a scrim doesn't mean they know what they're doing, or that they're going to communicate, but you can assume they're going to communicate in a scrim. And Reaper is not very good when the enemy team actually responds to him correctly. Which is why the higher you get, like, this is like a chart, the higher you get in SR, the lower Reaper's, like, usefulness actually gets. Because suddenly, oh, they don't do quite as much dumb shit anymore. So Ryan got mad booped over, and then also got hacked, so he was pretty fucked right there. And they've only got a minute, so them losing Reinhardt right there is basically catastrophic, because now they just Now they're in big prayer mode. I've just pushed 0 on the numpad, and we've gone all the way back. So they're in big prayer mode. We're not going to see... this is a little bit too far ahead, but I mean, we get the gist, don't we? They ran on to touch the point, and they got clapped. Now, I've pushed another button, and then went down there. Fantastic. Everything's falling apart in the last, like, 3 minutes of the video. So, to be honest with you, so far, like, we've pretty much been playing Zarya. Like, there hasn't been a lot we could have done to change the terrible outcomes that have had happen. And, like, the things that have gone well, like, they were kind of gonna go well regardless of our input, and more or less did, so... yeah, there hasn't truthfully been a huge amount to say about this game, because it's just been so, like, well, we got emped and earth-shattered. Well, our backline got nano-bladed. There's truthfully nothing you do about that. Like, you just get sad, pretty much. So, they've got a Bastion over there, to nobody's great surprise, considering they have to hold the first 33% for 2 minutes. So, one person's just rushed over there to touch the point. I assume it's Sombra, whom we've had for a while at this point. So, they're rotating back around now to match her. We've got, like, a couple options. The easiest thing to do is wait for Sombra to build Emp, and then do that. We've decided that we're going to try and rush right up to them, which is scary to do, considering they also have the lamp, but their diva has just decided to start throwing, because she just dove in behind here on us, like, oh god, we're like a charged Zarya, so that was free. So we're after the Bastion. Ryan didn't pin Bastion, but he pinned Mercy, which is also bad. Oh, break the lamp, break the lamp. Alright. Sombra hacked Orisa, which is definitely not as good as hacking Bastion, but we'll assume it was by accident. And hey, look at that, it's all worked out. It's all worked out in the end. We did their diva was quite helpful. Oh, Ryan, no! Okay, he didn't die. One emp. Got that fucking diva right there. Tried to Earthshatter the Mercy, didn't work out. Oh, Hack Tracer. So we're getting 2 CP'd right now, but, like, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. We've built up Grav, so we can just grab the remainders as they get. Just, like, throw it right there. Why not, to be honest? So, hey, we won. Look at that. Horned Beasts, is that our name? Is that our team name? Fair enough, I guess. I'll not judge. Genji got the play of the game. Stolen. Reaper had a way better play of the game. Yeah, here we go. Damn, that was so fucking free. Holy shit. I guess he killed more people than Reaper, but Reaper's play was better. Yeah. I didn't even have to dash, just dropped down right on top of both healers and went easy. Yeah, to be honest with you, there's not a lot to say about that game. Everything that happened in that game was going to happen regardless of our input, pretty much. Like, maybe maybe in that play of the game, if we bubbled Moira, she might have been able to react in time and use Fade to evade the Genji, and maybe, but, like, realistically, no, the fight still goes the exact same way regardless. So the only option we would pretty much have would be Grav Genji. We didn't have Grav at the time, so, like, you get emped, there's nothing you can do, especially if you then get earth-shattered right after. So everything that went badly, which are the obvious things to point at, to look at first, it happened. It just was going to happen, regardless of what we did. And everything that went well without us, so, like, you know... It was a kind of close game that we ended up winning, but, like, it's a rare example of a close game where there's really just not a lot to say about it, because so much of the game was just kind of like, yeah, this is just what's gonna happen, pretty much. Overwatch is kind of this way where sometimes the ultimates work out in such a way where, like, you really just can't do anything about it. Especially depending on the hero you're playing. Like, if you're playing a hero that's, like, Ana, McCree, then maybe you can delay the Genji long enough that the team can react, but, like, even then, right? If you're playing someone like Zarya, there's really nothing you can do about, like, the nano-bladed Genji other than grab him. If you get emped, there's nothing you can do. So, like, you know... It's probably not as exciting as you hoped it would be, sending the video in, but, like, really, it's... kind of just... fate works out like that sometimes. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. Started streaming on Twitch Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 7 p.m. EST to 11 EST. There's a link to the channel in the description. And if you managed to make it all the way through the video and somehow still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future. And I hope you found the video helpful.